DownHome Sports, covering all the sports in Ellis County.
Brought to you by Pinnacle Bank, ATM Live, powered by people. Pinnacle Bank is located off Highway 287 in Midlothian, Texas. Not just another bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank.
And by Doe City Pizza and Burgers, located in Red Oak, Texas, right across from the high school. Make sure you celebrate the wins at Doe City Pizza and Burgers.
All right, so we're welcoming in the Ferris Yellow Jackets softball team. We got Coach Holton, we got Delaney Scott, and Mackenzie Melendez, both seniors on the team. We want to welcome y'all in and thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Coach, let's just start off with, what your expectations this year are and how the teams kind of come around into form through the first couple of scrimmages.
They can tell you my expectations are always really, really high, and I feel it's high so they can raise to the occasion. We lost 4 solid seniors last year, and unfortunately with COVID, we didn't get the opportunity to really see what we could do. And we all are under the understanding that this year's no different. To go in there, we have a different district this year. It's just as tough, if not tougher, than last year. And we're going to go out there and we're going to compete. We should be able to compete with the best teams. That is our philosophy. We're going out there and we're going to go hard until the game is over. And so we had our first scrimmage last Monday, and it was okay. Obviously, getting out on the dirt for the first time in 315 days is what it was. And then we played a round robin Saturday, and you can see as the growth is happening, and we're coming along really, really nicely. And I think as we continue on my third year there, every game we play, we get stronger. And I don't think this will be any different this year.
Well, Delaney, entering your senior year, I know last year y'all were off and rolling. You had a good start to the season, and then things kind of came to a crashing halt.
Right.
Now you guys get back out on the dirt, out on the diamond. How good does it feel to get back out there in your senior year after you kind of lost most of your junior year to COVID?
I mean, obviously I can't play my position, but the position I can play, it's it's a really good feeling to actually be able to be out there with my team and just be back together again.
Well, also on a side note, Coach told us kind of before we started that I believe you signed with NCTC, correct?
Yes, sir.
So we wanted to say congratulations. That's a
Big congrats.
deal.
Thank you.
And so, well, Mackenzie, kind of same question to you. As the backstop for the squad and plays a little bit first as well, does it feel good to get back there and get back on the field, take those pitches and get going?
It does. It feels really exciting. And due to COVID, we couldn't play our best last year, but we did good. And we got to work on our communication and getting that bond. So this year, especially the seniors, we have a really good bond. And it's just really, really nice having that bond, being able to trust each other and being able to teach the younger ones who don't fully understand.
Now, they're not going to make you wear that mask under your catcher's mask, are they?
Not necessarily.
Well, I'll tell you what, you just got to be loud like a catcher should. But, Coach, let's go to you real quick. What should we expect out of your team this year? Little bunt, little slap hitting, or are we going to go straight power and let's just tattoo it over the wall a few times?
It's going to look different than last year. I think last year we were capable of some power numbers, and that's going to shift a little bit this year. We got to be able to have a balance. We got to be able to, hit for average. The biggest thing is we got to get on base. We got to get on base. We got to get on base and manufacture runs. If the big long ball comes, great, but that's not something we're going to rely on. Everybody's got a role. Everybody knows is that good things happen when we put the ball in play. We're incredibly aggressive on the bases, and that's always played to our advantage, to catch defenses asleep. And if we can continue to move the ball over like we're supposed to, then really good things are going to happen, because we're always thinking 2 bags, 3 bags, 2 bags, 3 bags. And that's always been my philosophy, is that we're going to get on base and we're going to look for 2. We're going to keep the defense on their toes, and we're going to strike when the iron's hot. We're going to take counts deep into the count. We're going to make that pitcher work. and we're going to see a lot of pitches, and we're going to put that ball in play. We're going to put that ball in play on hard, and we're going to catch them asleep somewhere.
Well, Delaney, how great is it playing for a coach like that that's allowing you to be that aggressive on the base paths?
Oh, I love it. I love being aggressive. That's like one of my favorite things is like stealing bases in softball. So, I mean, I steal whenever I get the chance.
You got the green light all the time, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Well, Mackenzie, as a senior, you've now had Coach Holton for a few years. Kind of talk about, he gave his expectations, but what has he meant to you, and what can you kind of expect that you know Coach wants this done, and as a team, we've got to do these things to meet his standards?
Well, Coach Holton has these, so he looks for communication, effort, energy. Delaney, what's the fourth one? Communication, effort, energy.
Oh my gosh, I just went blank. What is it?
I did too. Okay, well, he looks for the things that we can control.
Okay.
And he expects us to always give our best and do what we can. I mean, if we mess up, it's okay as long as you go out hard. So, I mean, I like being able to understand what he expects because that helps me be able to better myself and better my teammates. Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
Coach is going to have a refresher tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, but Coach, kind of talk about, I know you talked about being aggressive, looking for those extra bags. How difficult is it, especially at the high school level, when you've played or you've seen higher level ball, to try to establish that in these girls early, to maybe mentally put them ahead of where maybe some other teams are more talented, but you've got a squad that does think 2 bases ahead, that does look for the bobble in the outfield on a single to turn it into a double. How much does that play into making your squad better, even with the talent you got, to take that step above?
I mean, we practice how we play. So when we throw, base running is a part of our daily routine, seeing breathing balls off the bat, and softball IQ comes into play here too. And it's my job to knowledge and break down film, not just our film, but other people's film, and see how it's truly done. And then we put it in play. Every single one of them's got playbooks. Every single one of them's got a journal. And a lot of times we break it down on a blackboard or a whiteboard, and then we transfer to the softball field. But it's just seeing it over and over and over and over again. Even today during practice, we run a drill where everybody's got a bag, and everything's off my bat, and they're reading it. And they're reading it off the pitcher, then they're reading it off the bat, and they're seeing that ball down, and they're envisioning that defense. Even though we may play, quote unquote, more talented teams, our job is to, if we play clean and do what's expected of us and do our job, good things will happen. And a part of that is reading the defense, seeing who's not covering a bag. Where is that pitch coming out of the hand? Is it going into the dirt? Is that something that I can read out of the hand so I can go ahead and take an extra bag? Is the catcher lazy back to the pitcher? Where is the opportunity? And we work a lot of that in practice. We practice what we think we're going to see in a game over and over and over again, because my ultimate goal for them is to not be surprised. And my ultimate goal as the coach is to be able to let them play. You saw it in practice. We saw it on film. Now and I give them a lot of free reign to do what they're going to do at the at-bat, to read that defense and take that extra back, like Delaney said. Do you see a cornerback? Can you lay down the ball and beat that out, move that runner over? Where can we catch them asleep? So a lot of those expectations are stated and then set, and then practice and practice. We practice. I know a lot of people love games, but I love practice, and I love to see it translate onto the field.
Well, and Delaney, you got a coach that's talking about passion here. And I know from being in the softball community, back in the late 90s and 2000s, Ferris was a place to go if you want to play softball. Y'all had some really good teams back then. How does it feel to you being a senior this year, inspiring these young girls that are coming out watching you play?
I feel that, I feel good about it because, I want to be, somebody that can be looked up to, because, I don't want to be somebody that just doesn't work as hard, because I'm committed. Like, I'm going to work as hard. Like, I'm not committed yet. Like, I'm just still a freshman trying to get on varsity. And so, I mean, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like wanting kids younger than me to want to be like at a higher level is just like, it's just a really amazing feeling.
That's phenomenal. Well, Mackenzie, what about you? How's it feel to inspire these young girls?
It feels really awesome. Like being able to have a freshman come up and ask me questions about how to play first, how to put your foot on the bag, how to stretch out. Like, it's really amazing knowing that every step I make is affecting the younger kids, because that also pushes me to try to be a better player so I can be able to be that role model that they can look up to and ask questions and stuff.
Well, Coach Holton, the two girls you got with us, you were talking about them before we started recording this, but I kind of want to hear from you again what these two girls, these seniors, have meant to the program and meant to you.
I came in here with guns a-blazing, probably first day out, letting them know up front what the expectation was going to be, knowing that they had a choice, either buy in or they weren't. And but my job was to try to get them to buy in. They bought in immediately, which really helped the development of this thing. Because, you know, when you coming in and you're replacing a coach who's already here and they're used to doing things a certain way, and I come in here and I completely change the landscape. If they don't buy in, we're all in trouble. And they were a cornerstone of that, and they've continued to be. You know, we've lost some really good leadership last year, and they have stepped in seamlessly. Like we may have lost them, but now they are the leaders, and it's almost just understood. You know, Delaney's not the most vocal person, but she definitely leads by example. Where Mackenzie is going to hold those kids accountable, and both of them though are on the field and they work hard. They don't come off the field not dirty. They show what is expected to win games, and if we give it our all, we're going to like the outcome. And they are that leadership that this team needs, and they're not the only one. If I could have had all my seniors on here, I would have, and all of them play such a pivotal part to this whole thing working.
Well, Coach, appreciate y'all coming on with us today. And ladies, best of luck to you. Hit them where they ain't. All right. And Coach, we can't wait to come out and watch a game and see this aggressive style come to life on the field.
Absolutely, guys. We appreciate it.
We see the future in her. And as she grows, bonds are bigger. Lessons are learned. We plan for her future with those we trust. So when the day comes and she's ready to soar, she'll do it knowing there's always someone there. Pinnacle Bank, not just a bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. Member FDIC.
We want to welcome in the Italy baseball and softball programs. We got the Gladiators and Lady Gladiators here. Would that be correct, Lady Gladiators?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yes, absolutely.
And so
Yep.
we appreciate y'all taking some time out of your day to join with us. We appreciate it. We'll start with softball since y'all usually get kicked off first. And Coach Richard, starting with you.
Yes, sir.
Y'all were rolling. You were playing. You were further along than baseball. You were in your season, and then everything just said, "Yeah, we're not playing anymore this season." How good does it feel to be back on the diamond in a season that still has its weird, quirks with people being out and in and all that, but you're getting to play? How does it feel?
Absolutely amazing. Softball is pretty much my life, being that I come from a big background of it. So absolutely amazing.
Well, Coach Brown, same thing. But, 315 days at least, minimal, is what everybody missed. How good did it feel just to go out and hit some fungo?
Well, I never really stopped because I work year round for Baseball Factory. So I've been I never quit going on the field. So I at least got a little bit of taste of it without getting kicked completely out. But it was hard on all of us last year, for the players, for the coaches. You know, I had a senior daughter who had her season cut off, and had a son playing in college who that's how his college career ended, because he had his degree already. He's actually coaching in Hillsborough now. So, but his last game was them telling him, "You're done," because of COVID. So,
Wow. That's things. Now, are they going to make you, Coach Brown? I know I coach some select teams through the summer as well. Are they going to make you put like X's on the dugout to where your kids got to sit 6 feet apart? Because I felt like that was very annoying.
I don't know if y'all have been to an Italy football, Italy softball or volleyball or football game or basketball game during all this, but I don't think that's going to happen.
There we go. That's what I figured. But Emily, let's talk about you real quick. Thus far this season, no walks issued. How about that from the young pitcher right there?
It feels good.
Well, what are you did you work a lot on, during all this downtime? Were you concentrating on just hitting your spots, et cetera?
Yes, I play softball year round for a select team, so I'm always playing and practicing.
Very good.
Awesome. Well, Reese, let's come over to you. Talk about how it feels to get on the field, especially back in high school. Like I said, people have been playing summer ball and stuff, but to have a season canceled for school where you work so hard, you're preparing mentally to make a long push. How does it feel now to be back on the field and to get rolling?
Man, it feels great. It hurt last season, losing it and just being swept away so quick. I feel like everybody on the team is glad to be back and knows or is grateful for even getting a season, and hopefully we can make it all the way through it. So I'm just happy to be on the field.
That's great. Well, Coach Richards, real quick, you got Kinley Kate back there catching. You got Steinmetz doing a little slap hitting for you. How do you feel about the team and how they bonded so far in the couple of scrimmages you've had?
Well, I just got Kinley Kate because she played basketball this year. So, so far though, I had a move-in named Macy Cooper, and she's been catching for us, and she's done an amazing job. I got the girls on Saturday, the basketball girls, and I kind of threw them in the scrimmage. There's 3 of them that are very versatile. So anywhere from catching to third base and first base. So I'm really excited about that. I haven't had that in a couple of years.
Well, and Coach Brown, for you, what kind of ball should we expect out of your team this year?
What kind of what?
We're hitting the road and running.
Well, it's going to be a big transition year for us. Last year we were set up. We felt like we had a chance to make a run last year. Yeah. And obviously, we lost 2 senior outfielders, and then we lost 2 senior infielders who were also a big part of our pitching staff. Reese knows he's going to be counted on this year, not only behind the plate, but especially tournament season. He climbed on the mound a little bit, either his sophomore year. He threw a little bit for us in tournaments, and he knows he might have to climb up there, but we're just not as deep. And so hopefully some guys will step up, and there's a couple incumbents that have been there. As Reese will be a 4-year starter. Wafer's coming back at third. Raspberry will move from second to short. Saxon's coming back at first. But there's some outfield spots to figure out, and exactly what it's going to look like on the mound. So,
well, and Reese, just 2 years ago, y'all were 9-8-1, 5-3 in district, and it seemed like the program was really turning that corner, and y'all were set for a big successful year last year. How much does this impact you as a senior? To play every game as hard as you can, and the rest of the team as well.
It means so much. I'll say it again. That hurt last year. A lot of those guys that we lost were some of my good buddies. I've played with them for a while. So as a senior, knowing that I get a chance like they didn't means a lot to me, and I'm just going to play as hard as I can every game.
Well, and Emily, one of the things I always ask is, you don't think about the kids that are at these games, but in a community like Italy where everybody comes out for every game, I mean, y'all have a pretty good backing out there. how great is it to inspire some of these young girls in town to want to be a softball player?
It feels amazing. Like, you just see them at the fence at your games, and you just know that they just think highly of you, and you just want to be a good example for them, and you want them to mirror you and to be a good example.
Well,
Hey,
and plus you're cool as all get out because you get to stay up past 10, right?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Tater, I'm gonna brag on the girls in our community from last year. So last year we got shut down, and we all stopped, and the girls took the opportunity to play some summer ball in Maybank,
Very good.
which is about an hour and 5 minutes from us, and we had 24 students show up in the stands at a summer league softball game an hour away last year in the summer. That's how much
awesome.
our kids loved it. And they do that all the time. Our boys go out to football practice and they drive to volleyball games, and our kids are very supportive of each other.
Well, and that's one of the reasons we like talking to y'all, Coach, is, this is Texas sports in its finest. I know both y'all as coaches inspire these kids to do great things on the field as well as off the field. And we're very fortunate here in Ellis County to have folks like y'all coaching these kids for us and just leading the programs like y'all do.
Well,
Go ahead.
we have good leadership too. I mean, from our administration and our board, and our community allows us to coach their kids hard and hold them accountable, and it's important to them. So it kind of runs downhill, and we want those younger ones wanting to grow up and be gladiators.
Exactly.
Our community is very, very involved. We just recently had a hamburger dinner as a fundraiser, and the amount of donations that we had was just amazing. And about 2 days ago, a former player of mine, her parents stopped by and dropped off 10 cases of water. So it's just, the support is unreal here in Italy.
Awesome. That's awesome. And I've had family down in Italy for as long as I can remember. And I can tell you that's one thing that it's, and y'all probably know him as a cousin, Barry Byers.
Oh, yeah.
Coach Byers.
Byers are known around Italy, but it is, they always talk about how tight knit, and it is small, but everybody is in support of one another. And that's what we love to hear, and why we like talking. We don't want to just talk to the big schools, because we've got just as interesting, if not more, stories down in Italy and some of those communities around Ellis County. So, but Coach Richards, coming back to you,
Yes.
2 years ago, you're 10-0 in district. Last year, you're 1-0, things got shut down. And so the program is continuing to see success. When you hear about, the girls playing in Maybank and the stands being filled, talk about the progression of the softball program in Italy and how that'll make you perk your ears, make you feel good when you got girls that are committed enough to travel like that to continue to play and find success.
Right. So this year, it's probably the most I've ever had. I think I have 5 or 6 select girls playing softball this year, and that's tremendous in a 2A school. But the program runs deep, and Johnny Jones started the program, I believe, in 1999, 98, somewhere around there. And many of his traditions, I was around, so I'm able to keep those going. And it's just, I don't even know how to describe to you how important softball is in this small community. We're excited to get back on the road. We always struggle with our second round in playoffs. This year, I think it's going to be a little bit different. I think we're going to get past that second round. And I think Italy softball is going to go pretty deep this year. So I have high hopes, especially this one beside me, Emily. If she stays healthy, don't be surprised if you don't see us in state round.
Awesome. I like hearing that.
Oh, yeah. Well, Reese, I just got to ask you, since y'all are cousins, you ever try to hit off her? She throwing that rise ball right past you?
We've talked about it, but no, I've never tried. I've wanted to.
Okay.
Don't do
Well,
it.
Reese, as a senior, what's your expectation this year, just for not wins, losses, or anything else, but just what you want for the team?
Throw strikes and put the ball in play. That's all I
There
can
you
ask
go.
for.
Coach's dream right
I
there.
like it. I
Yes,
like it.
sir.
Well, Coach Brown, I got to ask personally because I go to church with him. But how's that Raspberry kid? You said he's moving over to short. How's Kevin doing?
He's, you know what? He's just he loves the game, and he's a very sure-handed fielder, and you know, he might not be the biggest guy on the field, but he barrels the ball up consistently at the plate. You know, we always feel like we've got a chance when he comes up, and we've got ducks on the pond, and he's a great kid. He's got good character. He's comes from a good family, and he takes care of his grades. You never have to worry about him being in trouble or eligibility. And he comes out to play hard every day with a big smile on his face.
Now, Reese, does he talk? Because I've gone to church with him since he was little bitty, and I think I've heard him say like 2 words ever.
I played some select ball with him, so I've known him quite a while. But it is hard to get a conversation out of Kevin.
Okay.
You know he's a twin, and his sister uses up all the words.
Yeah, that's true. He follows in his dad's footsteps because Kyle don't say much either.
Well, Emily, let me ask you this, okay? This is one of my favorite questions for the players is who's that person on those bus rides that's the crazy one back there teaching everybody how to do a dance move, trying to get the coach to do a TikTok, you know?
That's kind of a hard one because that always used to be like my catcher, Alex Jones, from all the former years. She used to be the crazy one, but this year, I don't really know. There's not really a specific person.
Yeah, we got to find that out.
Okay. Well, I mean, you know, that's one of the things about both sports, you know, you spend a ton of time together. So, you know, making that family bond to where everybody's okay with everything, you know, Coach Richard, speak to the importance of that right there.
So we pretty much talk about family bond every day. When we're between the 2 white lines, it's us. And right now there's 25 of us out there, and we're 25 strong as a family. It's just, we spend a lot of time together. We spend a lot of time talking about right things and wrong things in the world and how we should react. So, yeah, family is really important with softball.
Well, Coach Brown, I know Reese gave us his expectations, hit them where they ain't, throw strikes. But I know you said you're not quite as deep as you were last year, but you've got some guys that have the drive. What's the outlook as far as your expectations? Like I said, it doesn't have to be wins and losses, but what you expect from the program this season?
Well, I mean, you really can't say I hope we go to the playoffs because there's only 4 2A teams in the district. So
yeah,
we're already going to playoffs. So you know, the first goal will absolutely be to win district, and then after that we'll take it one round at a time. You know, in the 18, my first year here, they hadn't been past the first round in 6 or 7 years, and we got over that hump, and then we came up a run short and a nail biter in game 1 to Bosqueville and kind of fell apart game 2, and then came back last year at the beginning of the year. We had tied the same Bosqueville team in a tournament. We had beat Scurry, who's bigger than us. We had beat Blooming Grove, who's bigger than us. We had beat Ferris, who's a 4A. And we were rolling. We lost like 4-0 to Maypearl and made 6 errors in the same game, and we're still managed to stay in the game somehow. And you know, it was looking pretty good, and we were getting on the bus to go over and play Rice and Venus over in the Rice tournament when they got the call and shut us down. So, you know, I've never been one to look past and say, well, we got them the first round. Who do we have to play the second round? And coaches often get mad at me because they'll call me and want to make plans. I'm like, I'm not making plans until I'm done with this round because it seems a little premature. So we'll take them one game at a time. And Reese was being funny, but he's, I tell him all the time, the way you win games at this level is you play catch, which means you make routine plays. You throw strikes, which means you don't walk people, and you put the ball in play, which means they have to make plays. And that's a pretty simple formula, but it works.
I always think about the Bull Durham shower scene when he talks about you throw the ball, hit the ball, catch the ball. And it may have been funny, but I feel like as someone who played baseball, like it's totally true. And in softballs too, is if you can hit it, catch it, and throw it, you're doing okay.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, and Emily, let's talk about y'all's team on the batting side, right? You got a couple of slap hitters on the team. Are y'all going to be trying to go station to station, be aggressive on the bases this year? You know, what do you think Coach has got lined up for y'all so far?
I think that we're just going to try to put the ball in play, and our lineup is pretty stacked. Like, we do have 2 slap hitters, including myself, and we have Cadence as a power hitter, Kinley, and Macy, and I think we're going to be pretty solid.
Well, Coach Richards, are you going to just try to, get the first couple of base runners on and then tattoo it and let them run?
So what I try to do is I usually put my pretty consistent hitter up first, with actually Carrie Scott, and then Emily's usually my 2-hole, and she's my slapper. So let's put the ball in play and move her around. And Emily's really quick on the bases. Sometimes I protect her and don't let her, but if she's on the base, she's moving right down the line. And then this year, I had a couple of move-ins. So Cadence Hopgood, she's a pretty has a powerful stick. I went to watch her play select this summer. In one game, she hit 4 home runs. So I'm excited to see what she brings to the lineup. Kinley Kate definitely can hit, and Macy Cooper. I have a little sophomore named Morgan Chambers too that always is able to put the ball into play. So we're not going to be as quick this year, but I'm really looking for the power to come through.
Well, Coach Brown, who's going to be that one player that maybe isn't on anybody's radar down there in Italy, but you think is going to probably show up this season and be a clutch player for you?
You know what? There's a couple of sophomores still in basketball, but we have a kid named Ty Cash that will absolutely strike you playing football. He's just one of those kids. He's wired to compete. He has no problem climbing on the back of a bull and riding bulls, and he's one of those guys. He could end up in the outfield. He could end up behind the plate if Reese is pitching. He could end up at third. I mean, he's very versatile, and he likes to compete. And then we've got a couple of young ones. We got some outfield spots to fill, and we got a couple of young ones in Micah Glover and Jaden Wallace that are still playing basketball right now, and pretty athletic guys that did a good job in a little limited time. We got to see them on JV last year.
Well, awesome. Well, Emily, Reese, Coach Richards, Coach Brown, we appreciate y'all taking time out of your evening and joining us, giving us a little peek behind the curtain. Hopefully, if you'll get with us, maybe we can get out to a game or two, get some footage, get some highlights, and get those out so people can be aware of what y'all got going on out there. But thank y'all again so much, and we hopefully can have y'all on in a couple weeks talking about how the season's going.
Appreciate y'all having us.
Yeah.
In Ellis County, there's only one place to go. Doe City Pizza and Burgers. But don't worry, they got you also covered on ice cream as well. All kinds of flavors made in-house, just specially for you. And toppings to boot, as many as you like. So count your blessings for Doe City Pizza and Burgers and those big old scoops the size of Texas. Made just the way you want. So head on down to Doe City where the service and food are both delicious. Doe City Pizza and Burgers located in Red Oak, Texas, right across from the high school. Come on down and try them.
All right, so we're going to welcome in the Waxahachie Lady Indians soccer team with head coach Jason Venable. We've also got Angel Garfias. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, you did.
Awesome. And then Peyton Renfro. We appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to join us. I know you're busy and got other things you could be doing, and so we appreciate it.
Yeah, we do.
And
Thank
so,
you.
Thank you.
Coach Venable, going to start with you. I got to ask, your squad was playoff bound last year, and then we decided that we wanted to halt everything. And then now
Right.
you're getting a chance and you're back out on the pitch. How does it feel to get this season going, get underway, and kind of know that you're going to get to play through a season when we had craziness last year?
Well, I tell you what, it's been craziness this year as well. We're still dealing with the COVID information and the injuries and everything else, but it's been pretty nice. I mean, after we kind of got that, we had just clinched during the playoffs. The playoffs during the spring break last year, and we were pretty excited about the possibility with the team we had and the squad. We were really come together, and then that happened. So just to get the girls out in August and let them practice was huge just for us to be able to see each other, be together again. But it's been really nice. We've dealt with some issues since season started, and we're still dealing with them a little bit. And but we've done very well considering the circumstances. And now we're just keeping our fingers crossed and hoping that we can all stay healthy. I think that's kind of the way to look at it these days, is just who can be the most healthy every game you play.
Well, I checked the forecast for this week. They say it's supposed to drop down in the 40s and 30s. So I got to ask, and any of y'all can answer, but I'll go to you first, Coach. Is it really soccer season if it's not like 32 degrees?
Well, I tell you what, we get to the playoffs usually in March, and it's like 70 degrees, and we're having a heat stroke. And
Yeah.
So it's been kind of warm actually this year. We've had a couple of cold streaks that came through, but this week is true Texas high school soccer weather. And already we've had some games canceled and postponed just due to how bad it's supposed to be. So matter of fact, we're supposed to play Slove over at Heritage on Saturday, and we went ahead and canceled with the forecast. I think it was supposed to be 19 degrees or something Saturday morning. And so a cold weather policy at both schools, we just figured that probably wasn't going to happen. It'd be best to cancel.
Well, Angel, real quick, how has all these things combined, last year and everything going on this year, how has that combined to, get y'all as a tighter unit this year and create those bonds that you would normally do, doing other stuff and bus rides and things like that?
I feel that like last year it ended so suddenly. Like we were all excited we had, I think, 3 more district games and then looking forward to playoffs. And so now it's every practice, game, bus ride. For me, and I know for a lot of the girls, we don't take it for granted because just how everything is. And we play for each other more, I feel. So.
Well, and Peyton, I always like this question, but who's the one person on these bus rides that's back there doing TikToks and making everybody laugh and just to cut up?
There's a lot of people actually. Angel's one of them.
Okay.
And she also does it with Bella and just a bunch of people back there. We actually, on a couple of bus rides, we bring our speaker and we just listen to music and do all that stuff in the back.
Well, and but how much does that get y'all prepared for a game or help you de-wind after a game? As much effort as y'all are putting on the field.
I feel like it kind of just takes our stress away a little bit, and it kind of just takes away the seriousness of all of it away. It's nice to just come together and just mess around a little bit and just connect before a serious game, kind of.
So, Coach Venable, are you digging the music today, or is it not as good as it once was?
Well, I still I'm kind of more of an 80s rock guy, but I try to keep up with what they listen to. I've got 2 junior boys that play it around the house, so I kind of know some of the people. And if I don't, I just kind of fake it. I just make it act
yeah.
Well, Coach, does all these things combine, especially in women's athletics? one of the biggest things is these team bonds with the ladies. I think that's more important in some ways than with guys, that they're all playing for each other. How good does that make you feel hearing that from one of your players?
It feels, I mean, I really appreciate this group. This group is really special to me, and the chemistry is super important. We spend a lot of time on leadership and chemistry and trying to get along. You get 20 high school girls together, and sometimes it's difficult, but they know that that's a hard task to have. I mean, we all know that we try our best to get along, and sometimes that don't happen. It's kind of like a family, and so we kind of talk about it being a family, and we have disagreements at times, but once they step on the field, it's pretty phenomenal, and it is fun to watch those girls celebrate. And they're trying to get me to TikTok with them, and that's just really not me, I don't think. But Angel keeps trying, and I think they would love it. So maybe it's
we would love it, Coach.
Well, one day maybe we'll see.
Okay, before the end of the season, girls, we got him on tape saying he'd do it. Okay.
Okay.
So, Angel, talk about getting to play under Coach Venable. This is a man who's been doing it a long time. What has he meant to you personally and in your development on the soccer field and off the soccer field?
Well, I've had several coaches my entire playing club and stuff, but I feel as this is more, he was there for me on and off the field. It wasn't just about what I did on the field or about winning games. Yes, we want to win and we want to, score the goals, get the assists, get shutouts, but it was also concerned about school and just other things rather than just, I guess, the product, and about building me into a good person and just a hard worker on and off the field. That he's helped me through my whole high school since freshman year to now. And so I can take that with me to college. And yeah.
Well, Peyton, I know y'all had your Hall of Honor inductees just a couple of days ago. And did you think while you're on that field and you're seeing these people honored that you're making an impression on the young ladies that are out in Waxahachie right now? And how do you like being that person that's providing that inspiration to them to be a part of this storied program?
Well, I really do that's one of my biggest goals is to be inspiring for the younger ones and the underclassmen, especially when I'm a senior next year. And I always just want to be a good role model, and I just want to show them how just to be, I don't know the word, but I just want to be a good role model to them and kind of inspire them a little bit.
Awesome.
Well, Coach Venable, while we've got them here, give you an opportunity to talk about Angel and Peyton, what they've meant to the program, and how you see them leaving a lasting, I don't know if legacy is the correct word, it may be, but on leaving something for the program as they move on here in the next year or two.
Right. And we talk about legacy and what do you want to be remembered as. And they're both great young ladies. I mean, they take care of their business in the classroom. They're great leaders. That they were chosen by their teammates as captains this year, and there was no better choices. Bella Curial is another senior that was the other captain. So we have three captains, and they all have, they're all different, and they all provide different things. Angel's a big competitor. Peyton's a big competitor. Peyton unfortunately kind of had an injury this year, so she wasn't able to play for us. But the first thing she said, Coach, I'm going to be at every game, and I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be your assistant coach, and we're going to cheer them on. And when they come off the field, when I sub them off, Peyton's the one that goes and talks to them because I'm too busy with what I'm doing. And so it's really great to see girls like this in the program. Angel, unfortunately, has missed some games, and we're looking forward to getting her back. But just her leadership and the way girls look up to her, she's in the top 5 in both assists and in goals in our program. And she's not selfish. I mean, she's number 3, I think, in assists and 5 in goals. And but at the same time, she's like, Coach, I'll do whatever you want to. Matter of fact, the first district ball game, we had lost our goalkeeper due to COVID. And Angel didn't want to play in the goal, and I surely didn't want to take her off the field and put her in the goal. But the first thing she said was, Coach, I'll do it. I know we've got to do whatever's best for the team. She's also played some good teams in the back on our back line, and she's like I said, she's one of our best offensive threats, and she's always whatever's best for the team, coach. I get it, I understand, and I'll do it. And you can't ask for two better ladies than these two. And Angel, we're going to lose. We're hoping to get Peyton back her senior year after she goes through this ACL. It's going to be tough. I wanted them on the field together this year. It'd have been great. They get along. Chemistry is awesome. And just because of their experience playing club and through high school, they kind of know, and they can talk to the other girls and say, hey, this is how it's done in high school compared to club. And that used to be a big issue. We only had a couple of club players, but now we're fortunate enough right now that we're getting big enough. A lot of these girls who played club, and just their experience and their experiences that they've had playing is really been huge for us. And they're going to be two that are going to be tough to lose whenever we lose them. We're just hoping to enjoy the time we got left with them.
Well, Angel, Peyton, I'm going to ask both you, and I'll start with Angel first. I want to know someone who didn't get a chance to play soccer, mainly because I was dumb and thought I didn't want to play. But when you're talking about high school and you're talking about club, can you kind of talk about some of the differences and similarities and maybe how, because I know it seems like it's booming in DFW where club soccer is just becoming more and more popular. The differences in it, and kind of maybe is, which one do you see a lot of? Is it because we're 6A, you're in Waxahachie, you see a lot of competition, or do you see more of it in the club setting?
I feel they're the same but different. Like it's both, get girls together, go play. But I just feel club is very, especially like the ECNL. I know Peyton plays ECNL too, and we have a lot of showcases out of town. And it's really like get to business. Like you have friends and you make friends on the team too, but it's every year it's changing. Like there's new girls that come in, new girls that leave. And I just feel high school for me, and it's different for a lot of people. High school, it's more of a family than like club would be because it's just so many changes, different leagues and stuff. But 6A, we do see a lot of girls. Like I play against a lot of the girls or have played with that are in our district, or like when we get to playoffs. So it's kind of, I don't really know. It's the same but different. I don't really know how to explain it that well. But
Peyton, you got anything to add?
Yeah, I agree with Angel. It really is kind of the same, and especially in 6A, we play pretty competitive teams. Like we play Milford and Lake Ridge, and like teams like Waco Midway that we just got this year. They're especially in club. Sometimes it is a little bit more competitive, but you still get the same like competitiveness and seriousness in high school most of the time. But like Angel said, I feel like high school is kind of more like fun and like your family, because like these are the people that you grew up with and you went to junior high with, and now you get to high school and you play with them for 4 years, and you get to do stuff like team dinners and like bonding stuff. Of course, we don't get to do that this year, but I mean, we still get to do pretty much the same stuff like bus rides, and I feel like you just get more of a connection with all of your teammates, and it's just more fun, and
Well, Coach, I mean, our expectations for y'all this year to try to, go back where you were, and you're, having some pieces in and out, and everybody's probably going to end up doing that. But what is your expectation this year from just a district standpoint? How do you feel about the team as far as district play goes?
We lost some teams last year in the old district that we came from, but we still have some of the same teams. So you still got Lake Ridge and Mansfield,
Yeah.
Super strong. They have a lot of ECNL players that were DA players, kind of like we've picked up as well. The Waco schools kind of threw us a loop because they're so far away. We haven't seen them play a whole lot, and when we look at their record and who they played, we don't really know about the teams that they've played. So it's kind of we're just guessing usually when we're going in. So after the first round, I think we're going to have a lot better picture on what it was. We played the first game in district, and it was kind of, we didn't have everybody, and it was against Midway, and we had never played them, or we haven't played them in a long time. And so it was a little bit different for us. And then, of course, we played Lake Ridge, and we played without players there. So we I'm hoping that the other teams have to go through what we're going through.
Yeah.
But we're going to get well through all of this, and I think the second round could. Right now we're currently sitting about 4th or 5th, and the top 4 go, and so we're hoping that we get all our pieces back, and Angel will be a big part of that. Unfortunately, Peyton won't be. We really miss her, but we've got some girls that have been out sick. We've got a couple that are injured, and we're hoping we can get them all back. But the goal is to get back in. We're going to get in 6A, and even when we get into the playoffs last year, we kind of went north, went to the Richardson area. This year we're going to go south, so we're going to go more like the Temple Belton area in the first round, and that's a totally different picture because we really don't know what soccer down there is really like because we haven't really played with them. So it's a challenge, and like Angel said, it's really don't take anything for granted because they can shut you down. I know the boys were supposed to play Friday night. They got a call today, and Waco High's canceled their game on Friday, and it can happen any day. So enjoy it while you got it, and hopefully it'll all work out in the end for all of us, and that's the plan.
Well, awesome. Well, we appreciate y'all jumping on with us, taking some time out of your evenings, giving us a little peek into the program. We hope that you guys can get back there. We want to see it. And
We see the future in her. And as she grows, bonds are bigger. Lessons are learned. We plan for her future with those we trust. So when the day comes and she's ready to soar, she'll do it knowing there's always someone there. Pinnacle Bank, not just a bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. Member FDIC.
All right, boys and girls, it's that time of year, and guess what we're going to talk about now? High school basketball playoffs.
Playoffs.
All right. So just some news from around the county real quick. Waxahachie Preparatory Academy. The girls have won their district. Along with Ovilla Christian, the girls won their district. The boys tied for first, and by TAP's rules, they should all three get a first-round bye. So we won't really know about who they're playing until next week.
Awesome.
So congratulations to them on making it.
When we look down, we talked to Milford girls basketball last week, and they had a big game against Coolidge. And didn't get the win there, but they ended up third in district, and they did squeak into the playoffs. I believe their first games will be against Jonesboro in Meridian on February the 11th. So we want to wish a big good luck.
6 p.m. tip.
6 p.m.?
Yep.
Big good luck to the Lady Bulldogs down there in Milford.
Well, and I think the Milford Lady Bulldogs have an opportunity to go pretty far. I mean, you got two girls over there that, been on the show a couple of times now that are stealing the ball at a high rate. I mean, they're averaging 6 and 7 steals a game. So if you can steal the ball and limit another team's possessions, I think Coach Williamson's really got the ladies primed and ready for a good run.
And then part of that is, too, like if you tuned in last week, this team is young.
Yeah.
And a couple of their key contributors are freshmen. And so this will be good experience for those young girls. And we expect good things out of them. But just being there is a big step. Because that kind of cements like this is the bar.
Yeah,
this is the bar, and now we're trying to vault past that. So
well, and then Avalon, it looks like the boys are probably going to make it in the playoffs here. I know they got at least one more game to go. Probably had one tonight, but if they keep doing the things that they're doing, when we had the chance to see them playing against Milford, they look pretty tough. So we're hoping that they can make a good run as well. Italy boys have just gone ballistic.
Yeah.
They've had a good run. They're probably going to clinch district, I believe, tonight. But I can see that team, as tight as they're playing right now, making a good run in the playoffs.
Well, they're sitting at 6-0 in district, so they're undefeated so far. So if they can finish out, clinch that district championship, you might not know what you get with them Gladiators down in Italy. Another one we want to point out is Ferris, and we'll start on the women's side of things.
Yeah.
Ferris and Life Waxahachie are playing a play-in game tonight, but they are playing for a play-in game for that 4th seed tonight at Life Waxahachie, with the winner advancing to the playoffs.
And as of right now, 26-15 in the third, Life with the lead.
Life with the lead. So don't count Ferris out.
No.
Them Lady Yellow Jackets may come back to sting you. You see what
I see what you got there.
But wish them the best of luck as they conclude that game. But the Ferris boys, we talked to Coach McGee last week. He expects big things. They're currently sitting in third. Now, here's how it's going to go down. I'm going to explain it to the best of my ability. Heritage and Alvarado, I believe, play tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow.
All right. If Alvarado, who's currently sitting at first, wins, Ferris took out Heritage this past Friday night at Heritage.
51-50.
That's a nail biter.
That's a nail biter.
But if Alvarado gets the win, and then Ferris plays Alvarado on Friday, if they win, that would vault Ferris into the 2nd spot in district, which gives them I don't want to say a little easier, but you get to play one of them 3 seeds in the first round of the playoffs. But right now they're currently sitting third, and I think it's locked in regardless. They're going to the playoffs.
You got it. And that's a tough district. I mean, Alvarado's been a good team in that district all year long. But, I mean, you've got, Life. You've got Heritage. You've got Ferris. And I do believe Life took care of Godly tonight. So I think they're set up for a prime run. But if you're coming out of Ellis County in that district, you got to feel good.
Yeah, and I want to give a shout out to Coach McGee out in Ferris. A guy came over from Midlothian. Tater can speak more on him, and if you heard him in our interview, you can see how intense he is. But to take over a program that I know Ferris, that they were close. They won a lot of games early last year. If I remember correctly, at one point they were like 15-2 or 3 last season, and then district, the wheels kind of slowed. Didn't fully fall apart per se, but they didn't end up making the playoffs. To come around now and to have this team on the verge of even making it as a 2 seed shows the direction of what that program is doing.
Well, and for the boys' side also, you got Life, Waxahachie, and Midlothian Heritage. They're perennial playoff teams, just basically repeating the formula every time and just making a duplicate of it. But these teams this year, especially over at Life, a little bit different, a little bit younger. I can expect some good things out of them, not only this year, but for the next 2 years to come.
So well done on Ellis County in that district. Like I said, Ferris, Heritage, Life, all going to the playoffs. Life Waxahachie on the boys' side, currently sitting in 4th place. Just need those final 2 spots, 2nd and 3rd, between Heritage and Ferris. And that'll be decided. Could be decided tomorrow night. Could be decided Friday. Moving on, we're going to go back to the girls' side of things. We're going to get to Midlothian Heritage, who has done something that I think is extremely impressive. They have won their 3rd straight district championship, but not just 3rd straight season of undefeated district play. So they have run through their district undefeated yet again. Congratulations to the Lady Jags. That is impressive.
Well, and you got young players, senior on there, Elizabeth Schmidt. Elizabeth was one of your leading volleyball players. She's doing a great job on there. You've got a lot of girls on that team that played all the way through youth basketball together, all the way into high school ball, and it's starting to show. And Hill over there has done a good job this year. The coaching staff, as usual, one of the best in the county. But then you got to take a look at the Ferris Lady Jackets one more time. Talking about that Life School playing game. Exceptional season for them. I know, based on the score right now, it doesn't look like they may not make it in, but it was a really good season for them.
It's something to build off.
It is something to build off on.
And so I want to take a peek back over to the men's side. I know we're jumping back and forth. Just bear with us. Ennis. And I know Ennis is one of those programs, they've been scrappy, but they're not known for their basketball, at least not recently. Well, it looks like things may be taking a turnaround. They're currently sitting in 4th right now with a very strong chance to make the postseason. They beat Red Oak. They beat Midlothian, and Midlothian just clinched that district. And I know some guys were out with COVID and stuff, but those are 2 of the tougher teams in that district year in and year out. And Ennis took it to them. And we had Ennis basketball on, what was it, last week?
2
weeks ago. If you missed that, go to DownHome, ellisdownhome.com. Check it out. But Ennis currently sitting fourth.
You know, and you go to the boys' side on the 5A, you know, we're talking about, you know, Midlothian and Red Oak had a good season this year. They're just a young team.
They lost a lot last year.
They lost a lot last year.
And they won that district last year.
Exactly.
Too, so.
And this year, Midlothian comes in and wins the district. You know, Midlothian thinks, you know, talking to the coaches over there, they think they're primed to make a pretty good run this year if all the pieces can fall into place. And they can keep shooting the three-pointer like they've been doing.
Well, and you can attest to this more than I can. But defense, and like I said, there were injuries earlier in the season and when they had some COVID mess, but it seems like the team is pretty much at full strength. I know they missed a couple guys last game, but one thing that they had done well is play defense. And it really seems like now their defense is there. The offense is clicking as well.
Exactly. And I think you could really say that for almost every team in Ellis County. If you look at the defensive effort that every one of these teams is putting out, it's exceptional. I mean, the Lady Jaguars do not go 3 seasons in a row if you can't play undefeated, if you can't play defense. But no, I just think that the coaching staffs here in Ellis County, and I know Coach Middleton has really been pushing that. And as we jump into 5A girls real quick, you want to talk about some defense. There's 2 teams right there that can play defense.
They can, and it showed, especially when they played each other, because it's 2 teams. They can score as well. But, you know, that game was kind of low scoring between Red Oak and Midlothian, but there's a reason for that. Both teams are extremely physical and competitive on the defensive side of the ball. And I know Midlothian's a little undersized. Red Oak does have some height, but that doesn't stop the Lady Panthers.
No, and it's basically run and gun, run and gun, run and gun. But if we're going to talk defense in Ellis County, you know, we're not going to skip over this. I wanted to say this for right now because I knew we'd talk defense, is the May Pearl Lady Panthers with that 1-3-1 defense that Coach K told us about. You know, you got to see them the other night.
I did.
Just talk about how impressive that was in their big win over the team that shall not be named, Grandview. All right.
I got to tell you, I was there in person, and those girls were electrifying. And Grandview had a good team. But May Pearl, it took them about a quarter, both teams about a quarter. It's just that when May Pearl started going, they were hot. And I can tell you one thing, that number 1 on May Pearl, she is a ball hawk. But it really was that 1-3-1 it seems like May Pearl, there's either a block or a steal or at least a tip away from somebody every time down the court. It was very hard for Grandview to get a clean shot off or not have 2 girls attacking the ball, which could bode well in the playoffs because if they know how to run that defense. That 1-3-1 that they're going on down there, it is lethal.
Well, a lot of teams, you know, in UIL are not going to run that 1-3-1. They don't have the trust. They don't have the speed. They don't have the length. I mean, but when you got Alexi Berryman that's out there getting blocks, you know, coming off that wing, you know, and you got some enforcers down low for May Pearl as well. That's the team out of Ellis County that I really think, you know, besides the last team we're going to talk about, I really think you're probably going to end up seeing like Red Oak Midlothian girls probably in that 4th round, you know.
And I will say, May Pearl, just real quick.
Yeah.
If you want to see 3-point basketball girls throw up threes and throw up threes that hit, go watch May Pearl. Every single one of those girls, 1 through 5, could throw up a shot, and it has a chance of going in. And I know at high school level, you're not going to see like NBA style 3-pointers just draining one after another. But those girls, I think I saw in the first half alone, if I remember correctly, it was somewhere around 5 or 6 3-points made, which is impressive, especially for when we're talking about 3A girls basketball.
Well, when we talked to Coach K, you know, he said they're hitting it at almost a 40% clip on threes this year. I mean, that alone is impressive.
They're not afraid to shoot them. They're not afraid to shoot them.
But, you know, once again, when you come out of these districts and you're playing each other, you know, it's going to be hard pressed to get both. You know, it's going to be a dogfight with Red Oak and Midlothian going there. And I think what you're going to see is you're going to see Heritage ladies make a good run. I think you're going to see the same thing out of the May Pearl ladies. I'm picking them to go 4 rounds deep.
Nice. Well, it seems like we may see, as far as bulk size, on the women's side of the county, we get more teams running deep. The men's side of the county, I don't know. Midlothian, I'm looking at. in Italy, like you said. I think Heritage and I think Ferris maybe could upset some people and have a chance. But the mid-low in Italy probably have good chances to make deep 3, 4, maybe 5 rounds. The one team, though, on the men's side that I think that everybody's kind of looking for as it's state or bust is Waxahachie. Currently sitting at number 1 in the TABC state rankings. I believe number 1 overall, period, in the state of Texas basketball-wise. We talked to Coach Gobert 2 weeks ago, was the last 2 weeks ago, and those guys are clicking on all cylinders. My question to you, though, as they currently sit 15-2 on the season, I think 8-0 in district play. Yep. They've had now just about 2 weeks off because of COVID. They shut the team down for precautionary reasons. They had time to get it done. Now they will play starting Friday. They're going to play Friday, Saturday, take Sunday off, play Monday, Tuesday in preparation for a playoff game like we talked about before the show by Thursday of next week.
I think that's the earliest they could start.
And so they're about to go through a stretch. Is that gonna play any factor in this, or like Coach Gover said, have they had enough guys now get reps through this whole season that they're just so deep it's not going to matter?
I think they're deep enough, and the one thing everybody keeps going back to is all these slams and 3-pointers and all that stuff, that it's showtime basically. Okay. However, when you've got Bazarian out there playing the kind of D and the trust, and then you've got a couple guys on the backside, they're going to block anybody coming through the lane. There's that whole thing of what happens in Ellis County. We play good defense. 90% of our teams are going to play solid defense, and that's going to propel. Like Coach Gober said, that propels his offense. If you look most of the time when you see these highlight reels of Waxahachie, there's nobody around when these guys are slamming the ball. So Montez, I've seen 5-6 dunks of his, and there ain't nobody within the shot when Montez is throwing it down. And that's all because of that defensive
I was going to say, which means on the flip side, that's not on the camera.
Yeah.
Somebody got that steal. Somebody got that block, and that fast break transition is clicking over there. I'm with you. I'm a little nervous, not from a talent standpoint, but just from the stretch of 4 games in 5 days. Like I said, these kids are also 15 to 18 years old.
A little bit different. I know me and you couldn't get up and down the court for probably 1 game, let alone 4 in 5 days. Well, I just look at it this way, okay? If Coach Gober's got enough time to really break down some film, you in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay? Let's just say it that way.
They're going to be ready.
They're going to be ready. They're going to know what to do. You can still have these film sessions via Zoom like we're, been doing our interviews and stuff. But the more these guys know, and as much trust is built up in that team. When we talk to those guys, trust is the biggest key.
And so, when we're looking around Ellis County, we're talking playoff basketball, I'm going to count it out real quick. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 for sure between Ferris and Life Waxahachie girls. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You got 15 teams, including boys and girls around the county, making the playoffs. Ellis County basketball is the real deal.
It is. And, Coach Middleton was on with us a while back talking about the evolution of basketball in Ellis County. And you see these coaches that we have. You go school to school and you look at the coaching staffs and just the basketball knowledge that they have, the way that they get these kids to perform. It's just amazing. Okay, to me, that we've got a county that has this much basketball IQ in it.
Yep.
And a lot of it's, the kids buying in, and we've been fortunate around Ellis County to have, all these youth leagues that have really propelled these kids. And then, probably possibly pushing them into, that's leading them to want to play AAU ball, et cetera. Like Coach Middleton said, the growth there. But, you've got 3, in my estimation, you're going to have about half these teams at least make it to the 3rd round.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think I'm going to say it right now. I say we get 2 state champions out of Ellis County this year.
Nice. I like it.
I'll be bold and say that. I'm taking Waxahachie men's all the way. And for some reason, I got a long shot, but, to make the fourth round, and that's Coach McGee over in Ferris, because based on talking to some of his players, they're bought in.
Yeah.
And they're hitting their stride right at the right time. On the girls' side, you can't really bet against Heritage.
No.
Okay. But I will tell you, a team that's going to give them a run for the money is Maypearl. I don't know which one's going to go further right now. It just really depends on the draws later on in the bracket. But if the matchups are right, I could see either one of those teams taking it to state.
Well, I tell you what, guys, keep picking out with Ellis County DownHome Sports. We're going to be there. We're going to cover it. We're going to try to get to as many games as possible, but we're going to be giving scores updates. You can check us out on Twitter. It's @SportsDownHome. And we also have a Facebook page with is it Ellis DownHome Sports. Yep. But that's our Ellis County basketball playoff preview and what we got going on. Again, we'll have highlights. We'll have updates. We'll have some clips and stuff as we get out to these games, but we hope you use us as your playoff basketball resource.
We'll see you down the road soon.
In Ellis County, there's only one place to go. Doe City Pizza and Burgers. But don't worry, they got you also covered on ice cream as well. All kinds of flavors made in-house, just specially for you. And toppings to boot, as many as you like. So count your blessings for Doe City Pizza and Burgers and those big old scoops the size of Texas. Made just the way you want. So head on down to Doe City where the service and food are both delicious. Doe City Pizza and Burgers located in Red Oak, Texas, right across from the high school. Come on down and try them.